looking at different genres of literature, and we read a folk tale called Wiley, His Mama, and the Hairyman. And then I found what's called a Reader's Theater version of the same folk tale. So not to give you too much of a lesson, but you know that folk literature is different from novels and non-fiction. You know, it's told through oral traditions and belongs to a particular culture. This story, Wiley and the Hairyman, comes from the American South. You'll hear reference to the Tombigbee River, which is a real place. But the story's been told over and over again. Does anybody know the story, Wiley and the Hairyman? You'll see some common themes, like little guy outsmarting the big bad guy. Things happen in threes. Like, do you know any stories where things come in threes? Like three little pigs or three, things. And so three little common themes that recur in literature. And these guys are not acting. There's no costumes. They're not doing silly voices. They are reading the script, practicing their reading. So you guys make yourself a little semicircular. There you go. Okay. All right. You can step back and okay? There you go. And so, but they're going to read the parts of the characters, and there are 4 narrators, and here we go. You guys ready? Okay. Wiley and the Hairyman. Go ahead.
It was a long time ago. Wiley and his mother lived near a swamp. The swamp was near the Tombigbee River.
One day, Wiley wanted to cut some bamboo. He needed poles for the hen roost. He got his axe to go down to the swamp.
Wiley's mother said,
Wiley, be careful when you go to the swamp. Take your hound dogs with you. The Hairyman will get you if you don't watch out.
Wiley's mother knew that Hairyman hated hound dogs. She knew because she knew all about the ways of the swamp. She had grown up there on the Tombigbee River.
Wiley said, I'll watch out. I'll take my hound dogs with me everywhere I go. But when he got to the swamp, his dogs saw a wild pig. They ran after it. They ran so far away, Wiley couldn't even hear them yelp.
Well, I hope the Hairyman isn't anywhere around here.
Wiley took his axe and began cutting poles. But when he looked up, there the Hairyman.
He was coming through the trees. He sure was ugly.
He was hairy all over.
His eyes burned like coals.
His teeth were big and white and sharp.
He was swinging a sack.
Quick as he could, Wiley climbed up a big bay tree. Wiley had seen that the Hairyman had feet like a cow, and Wiley knew a cow could not climb a tree.
The Hairyman stood at the foot of the tree. Wiley, what are you doing up there?
My mama told me to stay away from you. What's in your big old sack?
Nothing yet. The Hairyman picked up Wiley's axe and began to chop down the tree.
Wiley held tight to the tree. He rubbed his belly against it and hollered,
Fly, Chips, fly! Fly back to your same old place.
The chips flew back.
The Hairyman chopped even faster.
Wiley hollered as fast as he could.
Fly, Chips, fly! Fly back to your same old place.
The chips flew back even faster.
But the Hairyman was faster yet. He was winning.
Then, from way far off, Wiley heard his hound dogs yelping.
Here, dogs!
The dogs came running.
As soon as the Hairyman saw them, he fled away into the swamp.
When Wiley got home, he told his mother what had happened.
Did the Hairyman have his sack with him? Yes, ma'am, he did. Well, the next time the Hairyman comes after you, don't climb a tree. Just stay on the ground and say, Hello, Hairyman. The Hairyman will say, Hello, Wiley. Then you say, I hear you're the best conjure man around here.
What's conjure?
It's magic. You tell him he is the best conjure man, and he'll say, I reckon I am. Then you say, I bet you can't change yourself into a giraffe, and he will change himself into a giraffe. Then you say, I bet you can't change yourself into an alligator, and he will change himself into an alligator. You keep telling him what he can't do, he'll keep doing it just to show you. Then you say, everybody can change into something big. I bet you can't change yourself into a little possum. He will change into a little possum. You grab him right away and throw him into his sack. Then you take the sack and throw it in the river.
Wiley was scared to do what his mother said. But the next time he had to go to the swamp, he tied up his hound dogs with a good stout rope.
As soon as Wiley got to the swamp, he saw the Hairyman.
He was coming through the trees. He was swinging his sack. He was grinning because he knew Wiley had left his hound dogs behind.
Wiley wanted to run away, but he stayed right there. He said,
Hello, Hairyman.
and the Hairyman said, "Hello, Wiley.
Hairyman, I hear you're the best conjure man around here.
I reckon I am.
I bet you can't change yourself into a giraffe."
Sure I can. That's no trouble at all."
The Hairyman twisted around.
Whoop! And changed itself into a giraffe.
Then Wiley said,
"I bet you can't change yourself into an alligator." The giraffe twisted around.
Whoop! And changed itself into an alligator. So Wiley said,
"I bet you can't. Everybody can change into something big. I bet you can't change into a little possum." The alligator twisted around
and changed itself into a little possum.
Wiley grabbed the possum and threw it in the Hairyman's sack.
He tied the sack as tight as he could.
Then he threw the sack in the Tombigbee River.
Wiley started back home through the swamp, but he hadn't gone far.
When there was a Hairyman again, he was coming at Wiley. Wiley climbed right up the nearest tree.
"How'd you get out, Hairyman?"
I shaped myself into the wind, and I blew my way out. Now, I'm going to wait right here. Okay, I'm ready to come down out of the tree.
Wiley thought and thought.
He thought about the Hairyman waiting below.
He thought about his hound dogs tied up at home with that good stout rope.
After a while, Wiley said,
"Hairyman, you did some pretty good tricks, but I bet you can't make things disappear."
"Ha! That's what I'm best at. Is the bird's nest on my branch?"
Wiley looked. It was there.
What? It was gone.
"Oh, I never saw that in the first place. I bet you I can't make something I know is there disappear."
Look at your shirt, Wiley.
Wiley's shirt was gone.
"Well, that was just a plain old shirt. This rope around my pants is magic. My mama conjured it. I bet you can't make that disappear."
I can make all the rope in this county disappear.
"I bet you can't." The hairy man threw out his chest. He opened his mouth wide and hollered.
All the rope in this county disappear. The rope around Wiley's pants was gone.
He held up his pants with one hand, held onto the tree with the other, and hollered,
"Here, dogs!"
The dogs came running, and the hairy man fled away.
When Wiley got home, he told his mother what had happened. "Oh, well, you fooled the hairy man twice. If we can fool him one more time, he'll never come back to bother us again. But he'll be mighty hard to fool the third time." Wiley's mother sat in her rocking chair, and she thought.
Wiley couldn't sit still. He went outside and tied up one dog at the front door.
He tied up the other dog at the back door. Then he came inside. He sat down and helped his mother think.
After a while, she said, "Wiley, go down to the pen and bring me back a young pig."
Wiley went down to the pen and brought her back a piglet.
She put the piglet in Wiley's bed.
"Now, Wiley, you go up to the loft and hide."
Wiley climbed up to the loft.
He looked out front through an eye hole in the plank. He saw a great big animal run out of the swamp toward the house.
The dog out front broke loose. It chased the animal back into the swamp.
Wiley looked out back through a crack between the planks. He saw another animal run toward the house.
The other dog broke loose. It chased the animal back into the swamp.
The wind howled and the house shook.
Wiley heard footsteps.
It was the hairy man.
He walked right up to the front door and banged on it. "Mama, I've come for your young'un."
"You can't have him, hairy man."
"I'll set your house on fire with lightning. I'll burn it down if you don't give him to me."
"I have plenty of sweet milk, hairy man. The milk will put out your fire."
"I'll dry up your cow, dry up your spring. I'll set 1,000,000 boll weevils out on the ground to eat up your cotton. If you don't give me that, give me your young'un."
"Hairy man, you wouldn't do all that. That's mighty mean."
I'm a mighty mean man.
"Well, listen, hairy man, if I do give you the young'un, will you go away and never come back?"
"I swear I will."
"He's over in that bed." Wiley's mother opened the door. "He's over in that bed."
The hairy man grinned and grinned.
He walked over to the bed, he snatched back the covers. Hey! There's nothing in this bed, buddy. I'm pig!
I never said which youngling I'd give you.
The Hairyman stomped his feet.
He gnashed his teeth.
He raged and yelled.
Then he grabbed the piglet and fled away into the swamp.
Wiley came down from the loft.
Is the Hairyman gone for good?
He sure is. He can't ever get you now.
Wiley and his mother had fooled the Hairyman 3 times, and they never
Saw him
Again.